G'day and welcome back to the ZiggyD Weekly, the show where I wrap up the last week's worth of content, give you guys some news and what's coming up on the channel, and answer some fan questions at the end or somewhere in the middle, however I feel like it. It's just 5-10 minutes for me to talk about stuff that's going on, and sometimes you guys seem to enjoy it. So, firstly, this is a pretty massive day, right? Breaking Bad season finale. No spoilers in this video, don't worry, you don't need to switch off. I'm sure like 50% of Breaking Bad fans have already switched off by now. But no spoilers in this video. I watched the season finale, and man, that show overall, that has moved to the #1 spot for my all-time TV. I remember back to watching the first couple seasons. I got the first 2 on DVD way back in the day, maybe like when season 3 was just starting to air on TV. I got those as a gift from Amy, I believe even, and I pretty much binge watched those from start to finish in like a day or two, and that was some intense TV. I've never seen TV that intense before. And then I've pretty much watched every season since then like crazy. I've gone back and rewatched them. And now watching the season finale, it has been a perfect series from start to finish. It's just so tense, just so well done, like so well filmed, and such an awesome show. It's going to be one that I watch again and again for many, many years to come. Now, just to compare that to another show that was in my top 3 TV of all time show, Dexter. Dexter. What the hell, Dexter? I'm sure if any of you guys are Breaking Bad and Dexter fans, you can see that's kind of happened. These two shows seem to, I don't know, they seem to share a lot of the same fan base, but man, Dexter was also one of the best TV shows I was watching on TV for a while there. It had that same sort of tension to it. It was really exciting. It was really interesting. You really related to this serial killer, this twisted guy. You found him relatable. You rooted for him, but at the same time, you knew he was doing bad things, and you felt a bit bad about it. But the past 2 seasons, especially this season, what has happened to Dexter? Just for comparison's sake here, I just watched the Breaking Bad season finale, end of the series finale, not just season finale, and loved it. I stopped watching Dexter about 3 or 4 episodes ago because I just could not handle it anymore. I could not handle what they were doing to my sociopathic serial killer hero. I couldn't handle it. They've tried to make him like a good guy and give him a family and do all this stuff, and I don't know what's happened to that show, but I'm sure some of you guys can relate to that. I'd love to hear what you guys think about Breaking Bad and Dexter, but no spoilers. Don't put any spoilers in the comments, please. That's the worst thing you can do. I will remove them. I have the power to remove comments. I don't like to do it, but if you post spoilers, I will remove them. Okay, so let's go into the actual ZiggyD Weekly. That's my rant about TV at the moment. I will probably go back and watch Breaking Bad soon, from start to finish, because I can't even comprehend how good that show is. Anyway, that's enough about that. So, first up, Path of Exile's patch 0.11.6 dropped this past week, and it was a pretty big patch. It brought with it 4 new skill gems, a support gem, a trap support gem, a new trap gem, and a smoke mine gem, all of which are pretty interesting, and I've covered 3 of the 4, and I'll probably go ahead and cover the smoke mine video, so go check those out. They'll be down in the description below as per usual. And also a whole host of new uniques, a lot of which, 2 of which were for trappers as well. So lots of trap love going on, trapper build love going on in Path of Exile at the moment. And that game's just getting better and better, and it's almost at launch. They're very close to launch, so that was the last major content patch they're doing before launch, but that'll be coming soon, and don't worry, I'll be continuing my Path of Exile coverage as I continue to play it, and I'll probably even bring you guys a build guide soon. Maybe when the new league starts, I'll start up a trapper build in that and maybe give you guys a build guide on it. Oh, we'll see what happens, but I want to get another build guide out for that game soon. I'm feeling the need for that. So we also got a bunch of new Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls info, which of course I covered. Some pretty interesting stuff too, the way that they're thinking about tuning the end game and making life more important and making the gameplay more tactical and stuff like that. All sounds pretty exciting, and I gave that a bit of coverage. I did a few videos this week. I also built an Archon Wizard with a streamer named Good Idea Gaming, and that turned out really sweet. So if you're looking to build yourself an Archon Wizard to do some farming in the lead up to Reaper of Souls, Souls, then check that video out, because we go through the entire process of outfitting the character with all the gear necessary to jump straight into a reasonably high monster power of farming on an Archon Wizard, and it has been a lot of fun to be able to do that, and it was pretty fun working with another streamer, something that I'm also going to continue doing in the future. Now, I also did some videos on my secondary channel, ZiggyD. Now, for any of you guys that are aspiring YouTubers yourself, or you want to get into YouTubing or streaming, or just interested in how the industry works, that secondary channel has pretty much always been dedicated mostly to YouTube success sort of stuff. I've been documenting my journey on YouTube. I've been talking about, how much, what sort of income you can get off YouTube, what sort of things you need to do to be successful on YouTube, just trying to make the industry much more clear for people. So if you're interested in being a YouTuber yourself, that's been my attempt to make things a bit more, a bit more transparent about the industry, because it's very closed off and the networks like to keep a lot of secrets to themselves. So trying to make that industry a bit more approachable for people. So check that out if you're an aspiring YouTuber or anything like that. Now, I announced last week that I would be able to play and cover an upcoming survival multiplayer game named Nether soon. It's kind of like a zombie survival, but no zombies. Instead, there's these freaky alien creatures that look much more terrifying than zombies, I have to say. And I'm looking forward to this game because it looks pretty sweet and seems to play pretty well as well. And I'm always looking for like some sort of good survival game kick. It's a hard industry to get a good game in. But yeah, the developers have pushed back the testing of that game, so no access yet. They said there was some delays. No word on when we'll get access, but once we do, I'll let you guys know and I'll produce some content on that. But nothing to report really on Nether at the moment. That's what I'm reporting, nothing to report. So in other news, I've also just downloaded and tried out Planetside 2 for the first time ever. Now, I thought, after doing Final Fantasy XIV and not really finding the MMORPG to be my style of game, but I thought this isn't a reason to write off the entire MMO, style of game. Like, there's a lot of different types of MMOs out there, and I thought I would try an MMOFPS. So, Planetside 2 is a free-to-play shooter. It's got like war on like a global scale, and there's overtaking territories and lots of group combat and stuff like that. And from my first half an hour impressions, it seems pretty interesting, pretty good for a free-to-play sort of game so far. I really have to get into it though to see if it's worth actually, really sinking some time into. But if any of you guys play Planetside 2, or have any experience with it, or maybe you play it a lot and have like a guild or something on there, I'd love if you could send me a message or leave a comment, or just let me know what you think about Planetside, or how to best get into and see what the game has to offer is what I'm asking, because I think you kind of need to hook up with a group. So if any of you guys do that kind of stuff, maybe invite me along and we'll play some Planetside. And of course, if that game turns out to be interesting, I'll give you guys my first impressions review, might give some other coverage on it as well. But so far it looks promising. Something else to do in the lead up to Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls and in between other games. Just something a little bit different. So let's close things out with just one question this week. It comes from Jake, and he asks, if you could become a lead designer on a video game, what game would you choose? And what changes, additions would you make? Now, you guys should send your questions to Q&A@ZiggyD.tv. I'll put a thing in the description below for that. But try to keep them, general gaming questions, sort of this. Really specific questions I might make into videos, but I can't always answer them in this particular video. So, this is a pretty interesting question, and I've thought about this for a while. He sent it to me a couple days ago, and I've been thinking about what sort of game would I want to take over? What would I really want to see? And then I thought, this is just a fictional thing. I can say whatever I want, basically. So I'm going to do something that's completely never going to happen. I would love to take over the cancelled old-school Fallout MMO. So a while back, there was a Fallout MMO planned. Back when Fallout 3 was planned to be, an isometric game like the first two Fallout. So before Fallout 3 came to consoles, there was another Fallout 3 planned, and there was even some concept art and some early stuff released for that. But it got axed, and Fallout 3 got passed over to Bethesda, which did it like, like a Elder Scrolls game, I guess, like it is now, which these are decent, but they're still not as good as the old isometric games in my opinion. So there was a Fallout MMO planned and talked about, and it even got passed around, the IP got passed around, and it was almost going to get made. A couple of times it was almost going to get made, if my history is correct. But each time it's gotten the axe for whatever reason, the IP's been passed around, there's been battles over who actually owns the IP, and this is probably going to be something that never gets made. Or if it does get made, it's going to get made by Bethesda, and it's going to be like Elder Scrolls Online, which I'm kind of suspecting is going to be pretty generic. So I don't want to see that happen, but what I would love to do, if I could take over any game and become the lead designer on it, it would be the Fallout isometric MMO. And what would I do? What changes, additions would I do to this? I wouldn't make it a theme park MMO. You guys already know I don't like that sort of thing. But what I do like, I like this idea of having like cooperative survival / PvP experience. You know, you start off just as maybe a vault dweller. Everyone leaves the vault at the beginning. All the new players, when they start, everyone leaves a vault. If you start in a bit later on, you show up as either a tribal guy or a vault dweller or something like that. You show up as just like kind of a blank slate, and maybe you get some basic equipment, or maybe you just get sent out to the world with nothing. Who knows? But and then it's your decision to, do I want to join some raiders? Do I want to cause anarchy? Or do I want to, join a town, help them build it up? Do I want to, join whatever faction? Do I want to try and go out and join the Brotherhood of Steel? These sorts of things, these factions, wouldn't exist by default in the game. They would be something formed by the player base. That's what I would like to see. Real emergent gameplay about people making the best of this actual difficult situation. The game could go to shit. Like, it could just be constant PvP. Everyone pretty much just turns into raiders. And that's fine. That could happen in the real world. But out of the ashes of that sort of world, we would start to see people that get together, form guilds, and create these little clusters of humanity, actual humanity. They try to build a town, they try to get some trade routes happening, they slowly start fending off from the, unorganized raiders. We start to see these awesome cityscapes growing out of it. That would be exciting. That would be something I would want to see. All in isometric, like you've got your little avatar walking around and stuff like that. That would be something truly to behold. Completely unrealistic, but this is just a hypothetical question, so I wanted to answer it with a hypothetical answer. Anyway, I'd be curious to know what you guys would do, actually. What game would you take over as lead designer, and what changes would you make? That's a pretty good question. But yeah. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.